Welcome to the Newsreel with Rod. I'm Rod, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite pieces of film gear, the Tilta Mini Clip-On Matte Box. Let's get real, but before we do, please click on the subscribe button and remember to click on the little bell notifications so you can get our latest updates. Let's go ahead and talk about the Tilta Mini Matte Box. But before we get into it, I want to show you the matte box that I got over a decade ago. It is this behemoth right here. A lot of beginning filmmakers fall into this trap. I know I did. Basically, you're getting a camera, you get your new little DSLR camera, and you see all of these different attachments to make it look cool and make your camera look cinematic. And this is one of the things that's supposed to make your camera look cool, a matte box. Now, for those that don't know, a matte box, you can put, these are little attachments where you can put like a top flag, side flags, and what that helps you to do is stop from glare and light kind of entering the lens where you don't want it to enter. On the back of this behemoth of a matte box, you have where your lens kind of goes, and they give you these little donut rings that you can kind of fit your lens in. And one thing that I discovered many years later is that this also helps you to stop from backlight entering your lens. So if you have like some filters on the top, and if you don't have the little donut on and some light is entering that portion, it could bounce back on your lens. So they give you a little donut so you can stop that backlight from going in. The problem with these is, first of all, it is way too much overkill for a lot of lenses that we're using nowadays. So a lot of us are using like photography lenses or kind of small cinema lenses. I mean, what is this thing? Has anyone seen my stapler? Here's Johnny. That was pretty good. That was kind of scary. So what is this thing for? So this size of a matte box is really used for more like big cinema lenses like Zeiss CP2s, or maybe the Rokinon Zine lenses would be appropriate for something like this. But for what we're using, this is really overkill. It weighs quite a bit, so it puts more heft on your camera rig. It looks kind of cool, but it's just too big, and especially if you're using like a little 50mm lens, a lot of times it actually won't even get up to where you would have to place one of these donuts, and it's really cumbersome. So in order to move the matte box, so if you wanted to like change your lens, you could see here, this is where you would slide it onto the 15mm rails that goes on there. You can then kind of move it out, you change your lens, then you're supposed to like tilt this back, and that was supposed to be considered convenient. In comes the Tilta Mini Matte Box. This matte box is appropriate for smaller lenses, photography lenses, and smaller cinematic lenses. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Here you can see we have the matte box. This is really cool because it comes with like these little, I guess you can kind of call these like little kind of step-up rings. So right now I have this on a Sigma 18 through 35 is what I'm filming on here, and it has a 72mm filter, but it comes with a couple of different filters. So here's a 67. Here we have a 77mm, and we also have a 82mm kind of step-up ring. So here's the matte box here. You go ahead and you take this, you like basically slide it on, or you kind of clip it onto the little filter that's on your lens. Kind of loosen this up, and this little clamp over here kind of clamps it down. Really simple, super lightweight. It has the one kind of top flag here. So it's got the top flag, doesn't have the little side flags, but that's perfectly fine for me. When you clip it on, it certainly is adequate enough it blocks out any backlight that's coming through here. It has a top flag, so it at least has, where you can stop any unwanted light that's kind of coming over from the top. It also has a little section to put in one 4x4 filter. I personally don't use 4x4 filters, not yet, but it does have that option. And this is just super convenient. As you get more involved in filmmaking, you find yourself wanting ease of use. And this thing is super easy to use. You clip it on, you're ready to go. It's not cumbersome like the behemoth that I showed you earlier. But this looks like a camera rig on its own. There's not even a camera attached to this thing. I mean, look at this thing. And it's just great in my opinion. Let's talk about a few of the shortcomings. So coming back to that little 4x4 filter, and the way you secure this is just a little pin that kind of secures it on. So you kind of pull it out and you just let it go back in, and it's supposed to secure it. I haven't used this. A lot of other reviewers say it just doesn't look adequate. It stays in there, but maybe when they do like kind of like maybe a Mark II, that's something they might want to improve. Also, it doesn't have side flags, so which is not a big deal for me, but it doesn't come with side flags. Again, maybe the Mark II will have something like that. So those are really my only two cons on this. It is lightweight, so you know, if someone has like a more expensive clip-on matte box, it may have a little bit more heft to it. For me, this is perfect because it doesn't add really any substantial weight to my rig. It's really lightweight, which I like. Some people may feel that it doesn't really feel cheap to me, but some people may feel it's not like, you know, doesn't add a lot of heft. It still makes your camera look very, very cool. It's super practical, and I actually quite enjoy using this on my camera rig. Oh, by the way, this thing is more expensive than this thing. So this is more practical for probably the lens that you have, where this is not. So now, let's go ahead and get to the reel. The Tilta Mini Matte Box is simply a joy to use. It's lightweight, it's versatile, and it's very easy to use. It comes in a cool little box, and there's several different options to mount your lenses. And if you want to mount it to a 50mm rail system, it has a few options in there for you as well. It comes with the ability to add 4x4 filters. It has a top flag, and honestly, at $99, there's nothing else in its price range that can compare. This has been the Newsreel with Rod. Remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell notifications, and go out and get yourself a Tilta Mini clip-on matte box before they're mysteriously gone.